Hey guys, so today you and I are going to talk about freelancing. So let's get into it. So the question in question was, Hi Frederick, what do you think about freelancing and why don't you personally do freelance work? Well, what I think about freelancing is that it gives you a lot. I mean, if you have the skills to survive as a freelancer, and there are many types of freelancers you could be because the range of IT services that people are looking for is actually quite broad. But if you do have the skills to do the sort of work that people will pay you to do, and you want to start your own company, or maybe you're a traveler or something like that, yeah, where you really want to be flexible, want to move around, or maybe you just don't want to work for a company and have a boss that tells you what hours to come in and so forth. You kind of just want to do your own thing. Then I think freelancing is a really good option. It is probably, I mean, considering the demand for IT expertise, it's I think it's among the better options in terms of professions to there's a lot of there's a big market for this sort of work, right? Uh, the thing though that you won't get is and this is okay if you don't care about it. If you don't care about pushing your skills to the highest levels and learning how to work in an actual IT company on bigger projects and dealing with other professionals and all the things that come with that. If that's not on the table for you, freelancing is a good thing. But for me personally, I'm a I am the sort of person where I actually want to learn all of these things. I want to understand all the aspects that make up most of IT. And I know for a fact that this is like almost it's practically impossible to do this, but it's still something that I really want to try to do. And the best way for you to get the training that is required to do development at all types of levels is if you're in the environments where this sort of development actually happens. You will not get that training from freelancing. As a solo developer, you will not face off against the same sorts of challenges as someone who is working on these bigger projects. If you don't care about that, as I said, if this is just a job for you, or you just really like the freedom that comes with freelancing, then that's great. Like, go for it. But you should be aware of that there are many things that you will not learn how to do that has a lot to do with dealing with, as I said, other professionals, and especially when it comes to things like scaling and large code bases and all the important stuff. You keep on hearing about things like testing and like all of this sort of stuff that really isn't an issue when you don't work on bigger projects. And that's all the good stuff that I want to get at. Now, I'm not ruling out freelancing as something that I might do in the future, because I know for a fact that on my checklist of things that I would like to master is going to be to learn how to actually run a IT company from scratch. Like, can I set one up? Can I make it something that is going to be lucrative? Can I actually survive doing this? That doesn't mean that I want to do it forever. I just want to try it out at some point and see if I like it. Maybe I hate it, maybe because you know it's not just coding and I really like the coding, it's also business management and talking to and getting customers and stuff like that. Although I think that everybody should learn how to do this at least at a basic level, because you know markets do change and job availability does change, and I think it's a very good basic survival skill to know how to do how to run a business. I think that that's something that, well, I'm not going to go too far, but I'm a little bit sad to say that we don't have that as part of basic education for our children and our teenagers and stuff like that. It's something that you can opt into, but I think that this should be much more fundamental than that, because I think that it's very healthy for our society to try to teach people how to stand on their own legs rather than always push them directly into the mindset that they're just going to go to try to find a job for working for somebody else. I'm not saying that you have to be an entrepreneur or like a self-made person. I'm just saying that knowing how to do it is a very good step towards a more healthy society. So, what I want you to take away from this is that, at least for me, Freelancing, the way I feel about freelancing is that it is definitely something that is a very viable way for you to make an income if you do have the skills to actually do this. You should know, on the other hand, that just because you know some basic coding, it might not be the case that you can start doing freelancing immediately. But in many cases, you can get away with working at a smaller scale than if you're going to work at a large IT company or something like that. And the simple reason for that is that there's a bigger range of things that you might find yourself doing in freelancing than if you're in a real IT company. You can always always bet on that the projects are going to be slightly smaller, at the very least, in some cases very small in comparison to the projects that you're going to find in the corporate environments or startups or things like that. And although there's a lot of freedom and flexibility and benefits with freelancing, there are a few downsides. One of those downsides is going to be that you're not going to be working in an environment where you get to deal with the more complicated problems of large-scale systems development and dealing with company structures and management and like all of these things that come with the corporate environment. And for me personally, that's something that I want to learn how to do. I want to understand how all of this works. That doesn't mean that I'm saying that I'm not going to be a freelancer at some point. It's just that I want to start out getting those skills because there's so much to learn. And once I feel like, yeah, I kind of understand how all this fits together, then I'm very open to taking a look at doing freelancing in a more permanent fashion, because I think it would be very exciting to try it out, see if it's something that I like, and see if I can build a small business or something like that. I might end up hating it, or I might end up selling the whole thing. I don't know, but it's an experience that I would like to go through. Have a great day.